This video is a review of multiplying and dividing fractions. In a fraction, the top number is called the numerator, the bottom number is called the denominator. To multiply fractions, there are 3 steps. Step 1, multiply the numerator straight across. Step 2, multiply the denominator straight across. Step 3 is simplify your answer. Here are 2 problems. So we're going to follow the steps. So step 1, multiply the numerators. 1 times 3 is 3 over, multiply the denominators. 2 times 4 is 8. And reduce if you can. 3/8 cannot be reduced. On the next one, again, multiply numerators. 5 times 4 is 20 over 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, we can reduce. You can figure out what you can divide both top and bottom by. I know that I can divide top and bottom by 4. So I'm going to divide them both by the same thing. 20 divided by 4 leaves me with 5. 12 divided by 4 leaves me with 3. I know that I can pull out a whole number because the top number is larger than the bottom number. 3/3 would be 1 whole. And if I took 3/3 away from this, I would be left with 2 of the thirds. So my answer is 1 2/3. Okay. There is a method called cross simplifying. In this method, when you're multiplying, you look diagonally and see if there's anything that you can divide both of them by. See, 5 and 3, we can't divide them both by the same number. But we have 4 and 4. 4 can be divided by the same thing. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. So now when we multiply, we won't have to reduce as much in our final answer. 5 times 1 is 5, over 1 times 3 is 3. Again, I can pull out, this is the same as the one above where I didn't have to do the reducing step. So I can pull out 1 whole. And that would be 3/3, and if I take 3 away from the 5, I'm left with 2/3. So you can either just multiply straight across and reduce, or you can do the cross simplifying method. Both work. Go ahead and try the 4 practice problems. Pause it here. Come back when you're ready for the answers. Okay, so I'm not going to do the cross simplifying method just in case it confuses some people. I'm just going to multiply straight across. So I have 2 times 1 is 2, over 3 times 2 is 6. I can divide both top and bottom by 2. 2 divided by 2 leaves me with 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so that's 1/3. Multiply across the top. 1 times 3 is 3. 5 times 4 is 20, and that one cannot be reduced. Okay, number 3, multiply straight across the top. 2 times 5 is 10. Over 9 times 6, 54. I know I can divide both top and bottom by 2. 10 divided by 2 leaves me with 5. 54 divided by 2 leaves me with 27. Okay, number 4, 2 times 3 is 6. 7 times 4, 28. Okay. On this one, I can divide top and bottom both by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 28 divided by 2 is 14. Okay, and that's reduced as much as possible. Next, dividing fractions. Okay, the trick for dividing fractions is keep it, change it, flip it. So you'll keep the first fraction the same, change division to multiplication, flip the second fraction over. When you flip a fraction over, it's called the reciprocal of the fraction. And then you're going to use the rules for multiplying fractions because now it's a multiplication problem. Okay, so here is an example. You're going to keep it. Keep 2/3. Change division to multiplication and flip it. Flip the second fraction over. Then you're just going to use multiplication rules. Multiply across the top. 2 times 5 is 10. Multiply across the bottom. 3 times 3 is 9. I can reduce because the top's bigger than the bottom. 9/9 is 1 whole. If I take 9 ninths away from the 10 ninths, I'm left with 1/9. Okay. So it's pretty much the same except for the keep it, change it, flip it. Go ahead and try these 4 problems. Pause it here. Come back when you're ready for the answer. All right, so number 5, keep it, change it, flip it. Multiply across the top. 1 times 5 is 5. Across the bottom, 4 times 2 is 8. That cannot be reduced. Number 6, keep it, change it, flip it. Multiply across the top. 3 times 7 is 21. 5 times 2 is 10. Well, I can take 2 groups of 10 away from 21, so 20 tenths would be 2 whole numbers, and I would be left over with 1/10. Okay, number 7, keep it, change it, flip it. 2 times 3 is 6, over 3 times 1 is 3, and 6/3 or 6 divided by 3 is 2. Number 8, keep it, change it, flip it. Okay, 3 times 8, 24. 8 times 5, 40. I know that I can divide each by 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3, and 40 divided by 8 is 5. So 3/5 is my answer.